Hey guys, how y'all doing? This is going to be the very first tutorial on 3D flying. 3D flying to a lot of people is extremely fun. I love 3D, I love everything about it. But if you're just getting into it, our first lesson is going to be on knife edge, which is a very good maneuver and it looks really good, and you're going to be using a lot of knife edge in 3D flying in just about every single maneuver. When you get into 3D, you're going to learn how to use your rudder a lot more. Up to this point, it's been mostly bank and yank, so you bank the plane and pull back on the elevator. Now you're going to be using a lot of rudder. You're going to be learning how to turn with rudder, how to keep the plane up with rudder. Rudder's going to be a big part of your life if you're going to get into 3D. First thing we should talk about is if you're just getting a 3D plane and you want to get into it, notice that the throws on your plane are massive. They're very, very big, and that's because when you're going slow and you're doing maneuvers, there has to be a lot of surface to get a hold of, or else you won't be able to do those maneuvers. So getting used to the size of the throws and the sensitivity is going to be a little difficult if you're coming from a warbird or even a high wing trainer. It is going to take a little bit of getting used to. So today we're just going to work on knife edge and the basics, and maybe a little bit into the advance of knife edging. So knife edging, demonstrate it real quick and then re-land, is basically flying on your wing. Just like that. It's just going to be like flying on your wing with either the right wing up in the air or the left wing. And you're flying with rudder. So I'm going to land here. And then talk about how we're going to get into the knife edge. So as it rolls to a stop, to get into a left wing high knife edge, basically you're going to want to roll the plane to the right 1/4 of a turn. So you're going to want to go up, pitch the plane to the left, and stop it 1/4 of the way over, and then it's going to fly straight, but it's going to want to lose altitude. To keep it from losing altitude, you're going to want to pull the rudder to the left, and that's going to maintain the altitude. With knife edge, you're going to need to use more throttle to keep it up than if you're just flying straight, because there's less air going underneath the plane. It's more to the side of the plane now, so it's going to have less authority with pitch movement. However, the yaw movement now is going to be extremely responsive, so it's going to turn very, very easy. However, the controls are now switched. We are now keeping altitude with the rudder, and we are going to turn with the elevator, and that's something to keep in mind. If you want to fly with the right wing high, we're going to pitch it to the left, the same thing, and catch it, and then fly with the rudder to the right. You never really want to have the rudder all the way to the right or all the way to one side. That'll start coupling and it's going to fall out. Practice with maybe halfway. Halfway is a good stable scenario with a fair amount of speed. And it's just the same thing with everything. Make sure you have the altitude. Today we're going to be working on the left just to demonstrate, but it's the same exact principles for right and left. So we're going to take off here, pitch to the right, and you're in knife edge. Notice the sticks that my rudder is being constantly held in one position, and that is just to keep it up. If I let it go, the plane will pitch down and it'll go into the ground, so I need to keep it to the side. If I feel like I'm going too slow or too low, I'm going to add throttle and then a little bit of rudder. Instead of just pulling up on the rudder, the plane, especially smaller planes, they will fall out. If I feel like I'm going too fast and I'm going too high, you can pull back on the throttle a little bit. It's just like landing an airplane. Maximize the throttle. The throttle is very important. After you get used to it, the passes will look just like that. That was a hands-off pass except for the rudder, but my hands were off the elevator and aileron completely. So it's just going to do nice passes like this. When you get used to it flying straight, start making turns. Inside turns, pulling the elevator up, and outside turns of pushing the elevator down. For some reason, I found that it's more stable pushing the elevator instead of pulling it. When you pull the elevator, it feels like it just wants to fall over a little easier. So when you're practicing turning for the first time, I would recommend pushing it. It could just be me and a mental issue that I have, but that's just kind of how I feel. It feels like if you push it, it's a lot more stable. The same rules apply with basic flight. Make sure your first turns are wide and very smooth and maintain the same altitude. When you get more used to it, you can make sharper turns like that. Different rules apply to that. You would actually let go of the rudder and use elevator and catch it again, but that's something for another day. For a little more advanced knife edging, when you get really good and really comfortable with both sides, start to alternate sides. This is going to be beneficial down the road when you get more into 3D flying. Do little passes like that, switch it 2 or 3 times when you pass, and catch it. Get used to switching the orientation, and that would be a very good step to make. After you get good at that, it would be a good idea to start snap knife edging, which is basically like that. You snap the plane and land in the same knife edge that you were just in. This is a very very creative maneuver. You can snap as many times as you want. If you land a knife edge, it's going to look and sound pretty cool. It's going to help you with your speed on your sticks, and it's going to get you used to the feeling of the sticks a lot more, because your movements are faster and more precise than before. To do this, if you watch my right stick, my left stick does not move. My right stick is actually just pitching to the top right corner, and it's snapping the plane, and then I just time and let go of it and catch it again. So it's a very nice maneuver, very good maneuver. It's towards the end of knife edge when you get very, very comfortable with it. And you can do the same thing with the right. It's just all about the person and what you want to do with it. But definitely practice the knife edge a lot. Get some altitude. If you fall out of the knife edge, if a wing drops, let go of the rudder, center the sticks, and pull out of it very smoothly. With a 3D plane, you never want to pull and jack the elevator because the wing's going to fall to one side. If you want any more tips and tricks for knife edging, leave a comment, send me a private message, anything. I am very open to all of it. If you want to see a different maneuver, check out my channel. It might be up there, but if not, leave me a comment in the box, send me a private message, anything you want, video response, it's all good. I'll look at them all, and I will be very open to everything. I want to help you guys and do all that good stuff. So, till next time, have fun.